Sierra Siebold, and her name from Battlefield High School. For a minute I thought it said Marlboro, and then I was like, wait a minute, she's not local. Anyway, her piece is titled Trash Cans, and I'll pull up her present.
Okay, so I first heard about this project after doing a summer program last summer, and I remember I was really interested in doing another one this upcoming summer, and I saw it on like the webpage, and I'm like, oh, the thing's cool. I didn't really know what I was going to do. I'm going to be completely honest, I waited until like the second to last weekend before submissions were due to actually put everything together. But I managed to make it work. I do a lot of collaging in my spare time. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and I thought I would try to incorporate it into this project. The materials I used were some paint cans that I got from family members who were doing home improvement projects and painting, and they had no use for the cans anymore, and they were just going to throw them away. And I thought maybe I could use this for my project. And the paper that I actually used to do the collage with are pages from old encyclopedias. I don't know if anybody remembers, but I remember back in elementary school when we weren't allowed to use the computers because we were too irresponsible to Google things. We had to go through the pages and like look up definitions of stuff and read about these people that we were like, what, 7? We didn't care. And I remember I found them outside the dumpster actually, and it was near one of our local like elementary schools, and I just thought it was interesting how like these records of historical events and like just records of the past are considered invalid just because they're old, but in actuality you can use the images from these texts and even the words from them to help convey our society today. Okay, and I made 7 cans, and I'm going to be presenting my 3 favorites. This first one is the censorship of art. I don't know if you can see very well, my picture's not the greatest, but the statue of 3 women, the anatomy is covered, and no, I'm not just a prude. It's kind of reflecting how our society is so censored, and everybody is so sensitive to things like nudity and sexuality. Not that that's bad to be sensitive to that, but a lot of things are like restrictive, and there are things that can't be released on, standard mainstream media because it's too, radical or it's not conservative enough. And I just felt like censoring these beautiful works of art that were made to be anatomically correct is it just feels wrong. I felt wrong doing it. I felt like I wasn't being true to the artist, but it felt like I was destroying their work. They're this beautiful thing that they made, and it just, but I feel like it conveys the message. It's really important. And then this is another example of that. And the next slide I did was based on the environment and like global warming and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to tell in the picture, but the main picture on this side of the can is from a French protest from, I don't know exactly when, but it was protesting against nuclear power. And the sign basically says, the man's wearing a mask, and it's supposed to be all deformed and grotesque. And he says that that face was created by nuclear radiation. And it's just interesting to look back in those books and see how the environment was, it wasn't in as bad of a state as I believe it is now, but it was still a major controversial thing, and I think that looking back on these past events and these protests and all these horrible environmental disasters are really important for us to consider going into the future. And then this is just another slide to make it a little bit more eco-friendly. There's like a greenhouse, and then it's hard to see, but there's a man holding a can of gasoline at a gas station, and the gas pump says all out. Just showing that we need to be sustainable. And then this can is about war. I'm a military brat, and I moved around a lot, so war and battle and the military have been a really important part of my life, and also just in general, we have soldiers being sent away to all these different countries to fight these wars, and it's interesting to look back on all the previous things that we fought against for our freedom. And there's like an explosion, there's a cannon, and there are soldiers in trenches, and it just shows how, even though we've progressed as a society, like I think that we're, in general, it's not like we're on the verge of like World War III right now, but there's definitely still that going on in the world, and it's important to look back into the past and recognize what's happened in order to potentially avoid war in the future. And this is just another side of more soldiers. And yeah, that's it. Just looking through it, it's like I've seen this before in like recent media. Like these issues haven't gone away, and it's just kind of like how long are they going to continue for? But I think it is important that we recognize it, so we feel like we can make a difference.
I was thinking like what you could do with those cans. I mean, I'm not saying you have to because they're cool on their own, but like if you planted flowers in them or something, that would be kind of really
Oh, that would be cool.
Wouldn't it? Like, because it would be a good celebration. And it would be like, yeah, this is a can about war, but it's flower growing around it.
Oh, that would be neat.
Sorry, I just thought.
Oh, that's a good idea. Last question.
You said there was 7 in the cans, right? What were some of the themes of the other ones, and why were these your favorites?
I feel like these are my favorites because I feel like I spent the most time, and I was really careful in selecting the pictures that I chose. I don't know, I wasn't really feeling the other ones. I mean, I made them, so I must have kind of liked the idea, but I looked back on it recently and I'm like, did I really make a whole can about like space? Because I think some of the other cans were like space, technology, medicine, and I didn't think those would be interesting to present on. And they didn't look cool.
Thank you so much.